The doorway to the cellar of the Dead Bard's Inn shuts with a gentle thud as Anna and Xerxes descend the dark stairway, following behind the human woman referred to as Millie by the half-ogre barkeep shipman. We turn to see Saru walking towards the stage. A few rough-looking musicians kind of sitting nearby, watching as the Tabaxi makes his way towards the stage, stepping onto the wooden platform. You can see that they're sipping their ales while they're taking a break, it seems. Saru, as you take the stage, it's nothing substantial. Just kind of this small wooden riser platform kind of across the western wall of the tavern. The place is brightly packed, though, tonight. Tables filled with patrons, kind of all about. It's kind of when you guys arrived, there was already a good deal of people. It seems like people are just kind of filling in here and there. And you can actually look up and you can see that the three balconies that are kind of above where the rooms are located in this 4-story building. You can see there's a few patrons kind of leaning against the balcony along the railing. A couple of them seeming to pay attention as you walk towards that stage. Saru, what is your intent right now? What do you want to do?
Start a party. So he's gonna beckon to the other, a bard or two there, and kind of wave them up on stage if they want to before he starts.
There's a couple there. One of them kind of picks up this kind of like somewhere between a lute and a guitar. It's a little shoddy looking. He's a dwarven fellow, and he steps up, looking at you a bit suspiciously. Aye.
Why don't you give us a good bass line and I'll fill it in.
Oh, you're just gonna fill in whatever bass line I play?
Yep.
Huh. How good are you?
We'll find out. Pretty good, though.
If you're pretty good with splitting tips.
Oh, that's fine. You can keep them all.
He looks at you quizzically before stepping onto the stage and beginning to play. I'm so happy. Saru, as the music starts, and you start filling in with the ocarina. Oh, that sounds so good. Like, I want this in an N64 game, like, so bad.
Want to know a secret?
Yeah.
It is an N64 game.
Which one?
You ever play a little game called Banjo-Kazooie?
Oh my god.
The theme song.
Amazing. Saru, I'm going to need you to roll a performance check.
If you really want it, don't forget, you have Fortune's favor. You want to use it on your performance.
Oh yeah, some of you do.
That is your prerogative. Everyone who's at the tavern has a free dice roll.
Yeah, one free advantage roll, right? So yeah, you could roll again if you want to. That's up to you. Ooh. without me tipping my hand, as you are, I'm gonna just put that on the background for a second again, just 'cause I feel like it should just go. As you are kind of, he's hammering out the bass line on that sweet guitar-ish device that he has, and you start filling in. You realize about midway through that you outpaced this guy by heaps and bounds. As at one point, one of his guitar strings snaps, and you really have to like take over because he's not able to kind of finish the same way that he started. As my first roll of the night was a natural one. So in that moment, as you kind of like really take on the light, you notice that the crowd that didn't seem like all that like necessarily like interested, like even the ones that aren't are like tapping their feet and kind of like looking your way. And yeah, you're getting garnering a good bit of attention in this tavern. And by the time you guys finish your kind of first song, you note that this dwarven chap is sweating a bit. He probably isn't used to going that hard in paint. And there are definitely a few tips kind of thrown onto the stage here and there. And when you finish your song, you get a good bit of applause from this place. People are pretty happy. And it seems like they're keen for kind of like the band to kind of keep playing. And this dwarven fellow looks over to you and he's like,
"Oh, that was pretty good. You mind if I get the boys in here and we kind of make some money tonight?"
No, bring them on up. Like I said, tips were for you. You'll need it after your string.
He quickly kind of like looks around to his friends and kind of draws them in, and they kind of jump on the stage and start playing, leaving kind of that lead role to you to fill in. You just jam out with them?
Yeah, I'll jam out, and as they're like tuning their instruments and everything, I'll kind of look to the crowd and just be like, "Next round's on me, boys. Drink up. Let's go."
The place is raucous. Just insanely raucous for a while now. And Anna and Xerxes, as the door closes behind you, you actually probably note, because it's probably like kind of happening, overlapping in time, that it picks up there. It gets kind of loud and exciting as you reach the bottom of the staircase and find yourself in a dimly lit cellar. There is a small wax candle burning low on a wooden table at the far end of the room. The woman, called Millie, turns around and looks you over, her black hair kind of holding that messy bun and that single blue strand just kind of swinging in front of her face as she kind of turns around. "All right, so couple first timers, eh? Well, welcome to the Rat's Cage Club. Lucky for you, no cover this evening. Run-of-the-mill open fight night. Though if you're still around in a few days, I hear there's going to be a real good one. That's all I'm allowed to say." And she gives you this sly wink as she walks towards that small table in the back of the room with the candle on it. And you can see she kind of reaches up onto the wall and pushes in a small stone that kind of goes back in, and then she moves it over, and there's this small cavity there, which she reaches into that cavity, and her hand kind of disappearing into the darkness, and she pulls out a small wooden crate about the size of a shoebox, and then places that on the table. She reaches into the top of her clothes, kind of pulling out that small key that you had actually seen her use to open the cellar door before, and she uses that same key on the shoebox, or on the small wooden crate. And as she's kind of fiddling with that, she's like starting to talk to you, and you can see her open it, and she's like reaching into there, and she's, so how'd you hear about us?
We heard about you from an employer. Just thought we might be interested in testing our metal.
Ah, I see. And she pulls out these two small glass vials, kind of between her fingers. She's like holding one of them like that and the other one like this. And Anna, they're not all that different from something that like Anna would have her mutagens in. And they're both corked with this kind of, stopper. Well, welcome. First things first. This Rat's Cage Club operates as an independent entity from the above Dead Bards Inn. Admission to the RCC is privileged, and we prefer you don't go around sharing your new membership with all your best friends. Before you can enter, though, I'll just need a small sampling of your blood. She holds out these two small vials, kind of in the two of your directions. All you'll need to do is hold a cork right there off the top, and hold the top to your skin, and my little buddies will do the rest. And she's kind of like miming that along the way. And as you're looking at the two little things that she's holding out to you, the glass corked vials have these little small slug-like creatures inside them. As you look at that thing, Anna, it looks like some kind of leech of some kind. It doesn't necessarily look arcane in nature, but it does. It just looks like a very strange little leech.
I was doing the arcane check more to like try to come up with like what could somebody do if they had my blood.
I love that.
Is clearly some sort of like protection of some sort in some way.
Yeah. So thinking about like what could be done with your blood. There's a lot that possibly could be done with your blood. One of the big ones would be like locating you, scrying on you, things of that nature. In the arcane veins, it would be much easier for someone to locate you or look in on you from afar if they had your blood. You specifically know that blood is extremely powerful in an arcane sense. One, the things that you do is like kind of fueled by your blood, and then seeing what Isabel was kind of able to do with blood as well. You know that it's a powerful substance that can be used for you or against you in many ways.
All right. Anna will nod and won't necessarily presume to speak for Xerxes, and but she will allow the slugs to do their work and sort of mutter something like, I understand security is important.
Quite. You said your employers told you about this place, and
Yeah. And Anna will like offer her a wicked grin and just be like, former employers. So fairly
I
new.
see. I see. Yes. Okay. Well, my employers care deeply about this place and keeping it to the best, and once we have your blood here, you've got your membership, and you can head in. As she kind of like offers Xerxes the thing, she kind of like looks you guys over again. And you'll be free to check any of your items along with all your weapons at the desk and enjoy your evening. And once you've had your fill, just talk to the boys at the desk again and they'll ring you out. And she walks over to the far wall and kind of gives the stone wall a shove, and it just swings open. And immediately as it does, you can just kind of see this darkly lit stone hallway, but the noise levels match what you're hearing upstairs. Not in the sense of you can kind of hear like this upstairs, the stomping of feet and clapping with the rhythm and beat of the Krazikian band led by Saru. Saru and the Dwarf Boys, or whatever their cool band is going to be called. But yeah, in this tunnel, it's cheering, but it's definitely more of like a little more chaotic, a little more wild, like ebbs and flows. And every once in a while, there's like a oh, and it sounds like there's some things happening down that way.
Are they gonna make us check the items?
Are you asking her that?
No.
All right.
Let's say
she pushes the door open and kind of starts walking to head back up the stairs. And as she does, we will jump to Stephen, Arthur, and Sarah. What are the three of you up to? What is your intent for the evening? Sarah doesn't care. She's just hanging out. So whatever y'all do, she's in.
I don't think Arthur really had any plans. Steven, did you?
None that really require moving.
None that would like take him/them away from the place where we last met everybody.
Yeah, I'm trying to
would
remember why.
cause any kerfuffle.
Hopefully.
I think. Oh, I know why, because I gave on a dimension door. Duh. Steven. Man. At the 5th level, would use Arcane Eye again.
Love it.
And he would send it to the home of one Captain Marcus Silvius. Would try to see what he could see.
Let's get his home on the map. Why don't we? This might be
believe it's in the upper part of the Platinum District, if I remember our conversation.
It is.
Bet you I could even guess, looking at this map, which one it is. It's that one right there.
Impressive. It is that one.
Nice.
I'm trying to get that right. Yeah. That's not it. That's it. Show to players. Turn on all the names. Boom! Okay. Just... All right. Okay, so as you send it over that way, the there's my calendar. Any of my buttons work? Okay, there we go. All right. Sorry, that was just a test. Making sure my buttons work. Okay. So as you head that way, there's nothing super interesting going on as far as the streets go. If you swing by, the bridge again, you can see that the large stage that is kind of located there is more or less complete, and there are a few like tables and things kind of set up around it and behind it, and you can see there's like canvas kind of rolled up nearby and some chairs and furniture. It just seems like it's pretty much there. It just needs to be everything needs to be set up, and there are a good deal of guards just kind of milling about in that area, kind of warding it all off, more than they would normally ward off the Silver District.
Once I hit the bridge,
Mhm.
I'm going to send the eye following the river. And I want to go that way to
North?
try and find up towards the Sylvia's estate,
Okay.
to find the spot where Anna and Isabel and him left. Because I know it pops out right around there, roughly. And
Yeah, it's actually right in this area here.
Okay.
Like a little circle or something. Actually, it's way more fun than these. Because it is. I'll just use a little point of interest. To a temple more shrine, but all right. moving up there, yeah, that way. There's not a lot going on in the Platinum District. There's a few people kind of milling about, walking along, kind of near the river. Every so often, you see a guard walk by as you're kind of cruising up that way. But yeah, you get to a small, a kind of a small outlet, kind of like where there is this kind of this old ruined shrine, essentially, where you guys kind of came up from when you guys were underneath.
Okay, cool. So once I make a note of that, I should roughly know where I am. Just like send the eye up and just straight towards the
And now
the estate.
that
I'm not going to try and like navigate that maze again. I don't want to do that. I just wanted to find where that was and be like, okay, yeah, that's where that is.
I'm gonna have to check my notes and see if it was on this side of the river or the other, because it may have been in the Temple District. Because I remember there was you guys took a boat.
Well, we took a boat at the end. So I thought we navigated the sewers, popped up, and then got on the boat and crossed. It does not matter for the
I know.
I'm
I'm just curious.
Okay,
in my own brain, because Borseal lives in the Platinum District.
Oh, okay, then maybe.
You took the boat there. So my thoughts are this would have been like just right across the river.
Okay. Well, we can retcon that later. Just Steven.
It doesn't really change anything.
Yeah, Steven found it.
That is interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything with it right now. I just
I'm
wanted
to. I'm gonna call it this place.
Okay.
I'm just going to point out it's awfully odd that a map maker can afford to live in the Platinum District. I've known something was up with that dude this whole time.
Yeah, he does. He has an estate in the Platinum District. Not large, but not small.
So we'll head then this way towards the estate.
Lovely. So flying over that area as you get closer to the estate, as you start to kind of like see the estate and look at it, I mean, it is probably a bit of a sight to gaze upon, because it looks as it does, as it has, as you left it. Kind of flying over the area where there's the kind of like garden and hedge maze and the courtyards and things, like is probably a bit of a shock, or just like not something
Very first time seeing the Death Star, I'm sure.
Yeah, just like, oh wow, here we go again. And as you do approach, you note there is a good deal of guards around. He was always a well-guarded. The estate was always well-guarded, just as you remember it. But it does seem a bit of an increase. And you also note they're not just you're like the unseen, or just like these regular. You're seeing some Briarwood soldiers, some Sons of Briarwood, kind of like around the outer estate, which is not super normal. Like, he had his own personal people usually, so that is a bit odd to have like more of the Sons around than you would have expected, at least as far as the outside goes. Where and what are you trying to do in and around the estate?
So once I get there, I just want to first see if I can get in, and second, I am looking for Cornelius or the captain, in that order.
Lovely. So yeah, you look around the upper windows, trying to like just see if there's anything open. Which it is not.
was gonna say, roll me that percentile dice.
Oh, that was D20. Yeah, seems good. You are able to find an open window upstairs, actually near to where you had a room somewhere in that area, as well as you knew where Cornelius kind of lived, and it's somewhere nearby. So it's actually not that far from where you're kind of entering. But yeah, you're able to get inside just fine. As you do, just kind of moving into the hall and just looking around, like not a lot of movement. You don't see any movement. It's pretty dark in here, and there's some doors. Just general run of the mill. You're trying to head to Cornelius's room?
Yeah, Cornel, we'll go there first because I'm sure. Because I mean, I'm pretty close to the estate. I'm sure I've got plenty of time to.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You have minutes, somewhere in the 20 minutes, I'm sure, to kind of like explore the estate. Yeah, it's only about 30 minutes to get there, approx. So yeah, you're heading towards his room, and you are able to locate his room and go on right under the door to get in. And you've been in Cornelius's room before, and it looks like his room. There's a few books out. There's kind of a low burnt candle, but it is out. And just moving around his room, there's no one in the room. It is empty. But it looks lived in.
Anything on the desk, just other than those books?
There's a few books, a few things that look like he had kind of like just been looking at, but they're.
I'll roll perception. Tell me what those books are, Michael.
Oh shit! One of them is in fact a spell book, and it's just open. You can see that it's a spell book. Can't tell if it's necessarily his spell book just from the page that it's open to. And then the other two are, I'll just tell you, they don't matter. Just random books.
Nice.
But one of them is a spell book.
Can I see what spell it's open to?
I can look at that. Now I have to look at the book. How many spells do you have, my friend? Yeah, you're actually, you don't need to roll. You're very familiar with Lightning Bolt.
Oh.
But it is open to lightning.
That's fun. Okay. Interesting. And I guess, but I cannot tell if it's his book or not.
Roll a history check. It is not his book. You can tell the handwriting is not his.
But I don't recognize the handwriting.
You do not.
Oh, that's interesting. That's fun. Okay. I'll get out of there and I'll head towards the captain's study first.
Lovely. Heading towards the captain's study. Again, not a lot going on here. Like, as you're moving through, you don't see any of the quote help. You don't see any guards on this floor, and kind of under the door of the captain's study, very similar to just how you kind of picture it. in your head. It's pristine in here. It is everything has a place, and everything is in its place. Um, there are candles kind of along. They are not lit, and they are like kind of fully up. Like unlike Cornelius's, where his was burned down. Roll a perception or investigation check. Choice. Looking around the room more closely, there is actually a pretty noticeable layer of dust in this room. Nothing to say that it's like months old, but like it looks like nobody's been in here for about a week.
Which, and let's just make sure we're working off the same shared history, would be very surprising because
It'd be weird.
this was rightly the number one place to look.
Yeah, it'd be very weird.
Okay.
He was in here every day, as far as you're concerned. When he was in the
estate,
the city, or the
Yep.
estate.
Okay, cool. That's great. Great stuff right there. I'm gonna just start looking. I guess I'll look to his quarters. He and his wife's quarters. We'll start there, and then after that, Steven's just gonna. If I strike out there, I'll start looking everywhere.
Lovely. Moving to his quarters, you find once again a room that does not look lived in. Everything is. The beds are tucked neatly. There's a very similar amount of thin layer of dust in the room. The candles are fresh and unburnt. The room does not look lived in to Stephen.
Let's get kicked off the internet and go to Casey and Kaylee's quarters. Are they home?
Moving to the children's ensembles.
I mean, they're not really children anymore. That's why it's, get kicked off the internet.
Yeah. You move down there, and they are the same.
Okay.
They don't look lived in.
All right.
As far as the last week, 2 weeks, hard to tell exactly.
Then I am going to spend the rest of the time, and this, because I hate taking so much time with this spell.
Sure.
I'm just going to spend the rest of the time just like looking in every room I'm able to get into on all, because I think it's I don't know if we ever said how many levels are in the house.
It's not small, so
like
2 to 3.
Yeah, I was thinking 3.
And it's
see who is
large.
there. If there is anyone there, like, can I find? Has there been a sleeping arrangement shift? Can I find Westcott or Claude in there? Or is this all for show?
Moving like around and then eventually kind of getting your way further down into the house, and starting to look, there are, as you kind of go to the main level, you do see like a guard kind of just like walking through slowly, just seemingly walking through. This is someone that does not look Sons of Briarwood, looks more just one of the hired guards. And you are able to find in more of the servant kind of quarters, the help, that you start to see like, oh, there's a maid, so they seem to be here. There do seem to be people here, but when you're looking for like kind of the Silvius estate, like the Silvius family, or anyone of that kind of upper echelon who you would often find here, their rooms are all kind of in that state of doesn't look like they've been here for over a week.
Okay. I imagine I'm probably getting close to time.
Yes, likely.
Okay. Then I will go out amongst the guards and see if I can find Carbrek Ironmite.
All right. I have to check where some
Easy.
folks are.
He was a, or do you? Okay, just where they are. I was going to say, like, I can tell you who he is if that helps.
I have all that. This is the dwarven boy.
Yep, dwarf guard, unseen.
Roll a investigation and then a percentile. You feel as though you get like a good, solid like look around before your spell ends, and unless you looked somewhere and he was like moving,
Yeah, we were
behind you or
ships
something,
passing in the night, sort of thing.
yeah, unless that's the case, you're pretty certain that he was not there.
So, to recap, make sure I got it right.
Mhm.
No, there are people there, but no
There are
one that I recognize, especially people who would be connected to the Sylvius family proper, and like the I don't know what the right word is, but the heavy hitters. None, or whether it's family, unseen people with Cornelius and Carbrek. None of them are there.
Yeah, it doesn't seem so.
Okay, cool.
Though Cornelius's room
Was lived in.
has looked recently lived in, more so than all the others.
Sure. Okay.
Investigated.
But I didn't find him.
He was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I was going to say, but I didn't find him. So, okay, cool. Well, that was very enlightening.
Point. Interesting. Okay. Let us jump this way. Roll 20. How do I do this? I did that. Glint. Roll a stealth check.
Right. I'm invisible, so I have advantage, right?
Correct.
Fantastic.
Glint. As you stand in the stairwell, watching Xerxes and Anna start moving forward, and the woman called Millie start walking up the stairs in your direction, you are able to kind of like push yourself against the wall as she kind of walks past you and starts opening the door. As she opens the door, this loud kind of burst of music kind of fills the room behind you, and she pauses and like kind of turns, and from our perspective looking on, it's like she's literally like staring at your face, and if you were a cartoon you'd be that light blue color, translucent, and it's like very, very close, and she kind of sneezes and then kind of rights herself and continues on up and through the door. Rolling a 10, so pretty close.
Does this door close behind her?
The door does close behind her, and then you hear the lock as she locks it.
After that, if he hears the clicking, if anybody has a passive above that 12, here's a very quick and sudden breath.
Xerxes turns and shoots you. Shoots up the stairwell. Xerxes would hear that. I don't know. Asana also have above a 12.
Anna would also hear that.
Well, you hear an exhale of breath behind you in the stairwell. But see,
I think Anna would just glance back, and I don't know if she would think that going invisible. And just would be like...
Many wouldn't.
And just like, I don't have time for this. I'm gonna keep walking.
So, let me just... This here. Is the opening where you're hearing the music. And as you kind of walk in, you can see that there is a small desk with two humanoid figures standing at it. There is a very large lizard-esque looking gentleman. And a much smaller bird looking gentleman. Kind of standing at the desk and kind of looking in your direction as the doorway is open.
Steven, when you gave me the bead, did you give me the bag or just the bead?
Probably just the bead.
Okay. And Saru's got the haversack. Alright, we'll just see how this goes. Anna will start to walk through.
The bead is super small, so...
Yeah. I assumed. I just was asking.
As you walk in, the large lizard folk kind of looks down at you, gives you a nod as the smaller bird-looking gentleman, who is a Kenku, kind of looks up towards you and starts talking.
Oh yeah, welcome to the Rats Cage Club. If you'd be so kind, we can hold on to anything that you need and any weaponry. I'm gonna need you to check that at the door. Can't have any weapons in the cage. It's for safety, safety of the patrons, safety of the workers. So just lay down your arms. We'll hold them for you. You pick them up on the way out. And anything else you want us to hang on to, we can do that.
For a penny and for a pound. Anna will check her stores, but I imagine Xerxes would try to get away with not checking the gun, and Anna would make like a pretty ostentatious show, like, you know, and just be like, he just carries the dagger, and make Xerxes give up his dagger, and then it would make an ostentatious show, just like pulling swords off her back, handing them over in the hope that like they're not going to strip Xerxes down for the gun that's assumably kind of hidden under his coat.
I will.
Because there's no way Xerxes is giving up his gun.
I do not think he will. Roll a persuasion check. Or deception, whatever you like.
Let me see what this is. What does my alluring do? Advantage on charisma ability checks. That's what we like to see.
Nice. They seem okay with it. As far as Xerxes does not have a lot of large holsters for anything but his guns, and they don't really know what guns are.
I was kind of counting on that.
So they will kind of take your things. Is there any weapons you are trying to keep on?
Unfortunately, the weapons I'd like to keep on me are big. So, nope. We're just gonna
checking it all.
We're just gonna check it. We're just playing it cool.
All right, Xerxes got a gun, and I will let him retcon it if he doesn't want, or if he does want to check the gun. When he comes in, I will let him decide if he wants to do it. But he did get away with it if he so pleases. But yeah, they are happy to kind of like let you in, and then they just kind of go back to just chilling there. You can see there is like a plethora of like weapons just behind them.
Yeah, I'm just kind of big on the fact that like if weapons start to go missing, people start to die in this kind of place. And like, you know, it's just a sword is a sword is a sword, you know.
Yeah. Yes. Lovely.
And,
moving into the room, you see that there is basically a massive ring, if you will. It looks a lot like the WWE.
Do the non-people not get to see?
I have the thing in here, but I have no other way.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting.
I might be able to get you guys in here. Just give me a minute.
Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe to catch all the in-ring action.
Yeah.
Thanks to our Patreon supporters who are already there.
But yeah, as you walk in, there is a large ring that does resemble a fighting pit. You can tell it is this because there are two humanoids in there duking it out. There is a pretty large crowd that consists of a pretty good amount of humanoids, regular-looking human folk, with a spattering of other races, dwarves. There's some orcish-looking people, a few goblinoids, and a massive ogre, kind of just sitting, watching on. There is a raised kind of wooden section that goes all the way around, and then a lowered section that is just a bunch of like hay bales that most of the folk are sitting on. The wooden section, there are a few tables in the back that seem to be a bit wardened off from the ribble-rabble of the normal folk. Sitting back there, you can see there's a tiefling, there's a Maranthian-looking fellow, and there is actually multiple labyrinthine elves. Maybe the most shocking sight is a massive bull-like humanoid, half bull, half man. Hard to, maybe a minotaur. It looks like a minotaur. Is tending bar. And in the ring, there is a very large 6-foot humanoid duking it out in fist-to-fist combat against what can only be described as like a boar-looking motherfucker, like his boar face, and he's really just, there's a lot going on in this joint. We're going to take our 8:06 break. I'm going to refill my drink and go to the bathroom, and we can explore the Rat's Cage Club. Damn it, left my water downstairs. That's the best. I'll get it shortly. Saru. After a few performances, the crowd thoroughly on your side and tipping heavily to the dwarves. They are just loving this. Multiple times they ask you, if you'll play with them, all over the city. What your plans are tomorrow.
Not a record deal, Shrew.
Yeah, they're seeming like they may be getting more than they usually do. Yeah, there are definitely shouts of freedom in the crowd. But when you guys are kind of like, at a natural break, maybe some of the dwarves kind of hop off stage to head to grab some ales, kind of reload, and get ready for the night. A dark-skinned humanoid man. He looks likely human descent. Kind of has like a bit of a scruffy dark beard. He's wearing plain looking like dark green clothing beneath some well-worn leathers. And he kind of walks up to you and like outstretches a hand that has a small pouch in it and kind of like tosses it in your direction, like seeming specifically in your direction, and kind of greets you. Fine performance. It's been some time since I've seen someone with your vigor take the stage in this town. Where are you from, friend?
Well, depends on how far back you go. Originally from Krazik, but I spent some time here around town after the burning.
Krazik, so it is true. You're Tabaxi. I've met a few of your kind. Interesting folk. I always had hopes of going to Krazik. With the way the incursion ended, it seems I'm going to remain stuck here like everyone else, at least for some time. I just wanted to say it was nice meeting you tonight and listening to you play. I hope to hear your trill within the walls of my favorite tavern in town sometime soon. Are you sticking around?
Potentially. I'm with a few companions, and I just kind of decided to, they're not the best music lovers, so I figured why not go back to some of the old places I used to go to?
This was one of the old places in the thicket.
Oh, yeah. I kind of went everywhere. Wasn't picky. Everywhere's got a tavern. Everywhere likes music.
It is true. Well, I should let you go. It seems the crowd is a bit hungry for more, but I do hope we run into each other again.
Sure, absolutely.
Gives you this flashes you this grin, And as you say that, he starts walking back towards the bar, and you can see him like kind of sidle up and grab a mug, and he's just kind of talking to someone. What's your passive perception?
15?
So, a few times during that conversation, there was like a moment of something odd kind of catching your ear. And you're not exactly sure what to make of it. There are a few times during the conversation when he was speaking to you that your perceptive, musical, if you will, ears were able to pick up on a few strange, like, tonalities in his voice. Almost like it wasn't a constant, but like, almost sounded like there was like this like subtle like harmonies of vibration, or like a whistle that kind of came from somewhere in his throat, as he was like saying a few words. Roll me a history or an intelligence check. Up to you.
Maybe? There we go.
Not bad. Not bad at all. So as you kind of watch him go back, and you're like, you're able to like pinpoint these noises with 24. You're actually able to recognize not what exactly was being communicated, but that he was trying to reach you with a form of communication, something that you've heard of, a secretive language, often used by shadier organizations, or at least secretive ones, that use this kind of subtle tonal language that they hide within plain speech to communicate with others within their guilds, often known as thieves' cant. So it seems he was maybe attempting to secretly tell you something, but presumably, Saru, you don't understand thieves' cant.
Nope. Does he stay at the bar, or does he dip out?
Actually, roll a perception check. So as you're like kind of like looking, and then you go to that area where he was, and you realize he's not there. You're like searching, and you kind of scan the room, and you're actually able to pick him up. And he is kind of moving very like, it's almost like just like he's like kind of floating through the crowd, like very skilled maneuvering through the crowd in a way that would not bring attention, but you're actually able to like pinpoint him as he's like heading towards the door.
Can I catch up to him?
Yes. So jumping off the stage and making your way there, roll acrobatics. So you see kind of the door to the outside open as you're kind of like making your way through the crowd, and there's a few people that get in your way as you're going, and you kind of make it to that door. Roll perception as you make it like kind of outside the tavern. In the thicket. So as you'll remember, the thicket is basically a bunch of buildings that are just tightly packed many built kind of on top of each other. And this area, especially like this kind of corner where the Dead Bard's Inn resides, there's all these crisscrossing platforms and scaffoldings and like ladders, steps. It is just a mishmash of all these kind of like ways you can go, which would make it rather easy for someone to kind of maneuver away from here, especially when being like chased or it's a thicket. It's a shady area of town, but you are able to kind of like pinpoint this kind of like rather plain, regular looking like coat kind of going into an alley around the corner, as like you kind of see he like kind of picked up speed and kind of tried to dart out of your general area. He looks like he's trying not to be seen, but someone is seeing him.
I would pursue, and I would holler after him. Hey, wait! Hold on!
As you turn the corner, you hear the sound of a metal grate. And you see in this alleyway, in the cobblestone, like tight alleyway, there is a metal grate on the ground where kind of drainage into the sewer system would go, and it kind of just like rattles closed and is actually sitting kind of askew, half open.
Okay. He'd go back to the bar.
Okay, jumping back to the old rat's cage. Glint, what are you doing in Visiglint?
Glint is I guess taking it in initially.
Taking it all in.
Probably just, I don't even know if he really knows what's going on yet. Just following at this point. Just kind of sticking next to Anna and Xerxes for now.
Pay no attention to the Arthur, Stephen, and Saru. That should be able to see now. And then Will, you can see on the rock, right? I think the rock's in there somewhere.
Yep.
Beautiful. All right, and everyone should be able to see. Anna, and subsequently Xerxes, and Invisiglint. What would you like to do?
I'd like to look at a few things. One, two people fighting. Is it like bare knuckle boxing? Do they have like gloves or gauntlets or something on?
They are both bare knuckle, though the boar gentleman, as he can only be called a gentleman, has kind of like hooved, like kind of like wacky hands. That's the only way I can describe it.
Okay.
And he seems to be doing like a good deal of almost like slashing damage as he's hitting, and multiple times he is full on using his tusks against the poor gentleman. And the crowd is like loving it.
Is there somebody? As Anna looks around, is there somebody who looks like they're either taking bets or in charge of fighters? Just someone kind of thin, greasy, slimy.
You can see moving through the crowd. There is a this here. Interesting looking, kind of short, about the size of a dwarf. I mean, in stature and in height, gray looking thing that is moving through the crowd, and he is kind of like kind of talking to people, and he has a nice big pouch at his side, jingling, and he does have like full, papers in his hand. He does.
Anna will flag him down.
Taking. He will slowly kind of make his way over to Yul.
Oh yeah, newcomers. You looking to place some bets?
Looking to understand the rules first. How do you get in there?
Well, I mean, tonight's open night. You just kind of tell them you're next. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not looking to get in there. Your friend there, he does look pretty tough. Looking at Xerxes, you could probably sign him up.
Anna smiles and says, "What are the rules, friend?"
Rules. The only rules are no weapons, and that's all the rules. Bare knuckles, just rolling. You hit him, he hits you. We see who's standing at the end of it.
No weapons of any sort? Those tusks look like weapons.
You'd say that, yeah, but they're part of him, He's got them built into his face. If you had tusks built in, and he looks at Xerxes, who has really shining, polished horns, because he spends his evenings polishing his horns so well. He's like, your friend here, though he does look a little old, could use those horns. Do some damage, I'd suspect. Yeah, if you want to enter your grandfather here, feel free. It's a no-kill night, so nobody should die.
Anna will nod and say, "But think about it. What are the odds against the boar man?"
If only Nate was here, so I could troll him harder.
I'm not taking any more bets on this one, because as you can see,
and the boar literally rips a nice gouge in the humanoid's neck with his tusks and screams very happily, and it looks very close to the end. He's like,
this one's about over. But if you're interested on the next one, I'll figure out who's fighting and just come talk to me. Zedicus is the name. Just yell me out. I'll be there right away.
what more can you want?
I'm just trying to get my odds. Not being allowed a weapon of any sort really hurts. Because I don't think my fists count as a weapon. I was reading the rules, so it'd have to be a DM override rule of cool.
I will tell you that the ring has different rules than regular fights do, and the rolling is different. So it is better balanced than just
Letting me wander in there.
yeah. You won't be just dealing 1 point of like non-lethal damage or
Well, what I was trying to see was not necessarily that, but more of like, I'm pretty sure Anna could win if she could use her booming blade or her green flame blade and like punch fire out of her hand
I love it.
each time. But unarmed strikes aren't weapons. Your hands are not weapons unless you're like a monk or something like that. So
Yeah, there are definitely some classes that get certain buffs and doing not do that much. But yeah, it's but you know, Anna's pretty good at evading and getting hit. So
I know that's the rub. And I was looking for my spell. I just was doing a full list. So I was like, I don't think there's any way I can incorporate that, unfortunately. We will. Oh, before what's his face? Not Xerxes goes away.
Zedekus.
You're gonna have to spell that. Please. Zedekus, are the VIP tables up there? Do they take kindly from approaching from strangers, or?
Depends how much money those strangers have. The tables are taken for tonight, but you can always reserve them ahead of time. I'm here most nights, but
I'm here, but I mean you probably know the people at those tables.
yeah, I definitely know the people at those tables. Deal with them all the time.
Do they get jumpy if people just walk up?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't even think Anna needs an inside check on that one.
Maybe sometime I could introduce you to them. You come do some bets with old Zedekus. Maybe we get to know each other, this, that, the other.
Got it. Thank you, Zedekus.
Anytime. So you want? Do you want to make a bet though? Lovely elven lady like yourself.
Anna will just smile and say, "Why don't you put me down for next in the ring?" And then she'll slip away from him.
He looks rather like confused. Definitely shares eyes with Xerxes, and then starts walking over to the massive ogre. And Glint, what are you up to?
I was just saying what's down this way.
There are two wooden doors down that way. One to the north and one to the south.
We're gonna try and just push on them. See if it just opens.
Which one would you like?
The north. Let's do the north. Let's do the north.
The door to the north.
The door to the north.
Lovely. The door to the north does actually push open.
You just investigate the room, see if there's any.
Yeah, roll an investigation check.
Anything I've nuked.
So as you first enter this room, you note that maybe at first you think it's like storage, which there is some storage here, but then looking a little closer around the room, some of the things catch your eye. There are hay bales, there are boxes, most of them empty, and there are some barrels that presumably have ale. But there are some like things on the wall, these metal loops with this kind of like chain hanging from kind of in this area here. And kind of just seems a little strange, out of place in this room. It looks like this room is used for storage, but it looks like this room may have been used for something else.
Gotcha. But just sort of foodstuffs and supplies.
It looks like supplies for this downstairs in this room.
Scoots across and tries the other door.
The other door also opens.
Do they have handles, or is he just like pushing them open?
They do have handles.
Is it knobs or?
No,
How much
it's
trouble
like,
is he having?
He's not having much trouble. They are handles that look like they can be kind of latched closed, and they're not latched.
Gotcha.
Entering this room, there is a wooden gurney. There is a trough that is nearly empty of water, and there are 4 sets of hanging chains that are kind of bolted into the wall, all of which have very familiar looking sets of manacles attached to them. Manacles that kind of latch hands together and feet together. Kind of it's hanging from the wall in this room.
Can you look in like the crevices? Like, is there anything like give a thorough
Roll
look
an
at
investigation check.
deep corners? He'll
I've
come out
described all the
probably.
things.
Anna will probably. I don't know what's going on with Anna now, but he spent some time in there.
Love it. Shauna and Xerxes. Xerxes shoots everyone in the room just to show that he's not done.
Anna will ask Xerxes if the tiefling in the corner is his his fail son.
He says to you, "No, that's a woman."
Anna will just kind of like hang her head.
Do we all look the same to you, Anna? Damn.
Yes. Honestly, I get it. I'll get it off my chest at Racist Anonymous next week. You can report me to our the burnt HR, and we can discuss further.
Look out, Nate is the burnt HR.
True. Anna will, when it looks like it's about to be, like the fight's gonna start soon, like her fight, she'll kind of like she'll try to walk up to, I don't know, like right about here, so she can like see the people at the 2 VIP tables. Assuming she like stopped on her way.
Yeah, so walking up towards the bar, you're happily able to move that way. But once you move kind of as far as this way, this actually, gentleman here, this labyrinth elf kind of like steps in front of you. Oh, so sorry, madam. It may be your first time here, but these tables are all reserved for the evening. If you would just make your order at the bar and find someplace down below to watch the next fight.
Are they like far enough away that like and like distracted? Is anybody like looking at me at the tables, or are they all like engrossed in their own conversation?
They seem generally to themselves in their conversations, not really paying attention to anything.
Anna will look at him and say, I need to get back there to have a conversation. I can understand why you'd be reticent to let a newcomer come back here. Anna will look at him and say, bet big on me. I'm gonna take down the board. And when I do, and you make a bunch of money, you give me 5 minutes back there? Call it a job interview. And she'll smile.
Roll a persuasion check. He looks you over, kind of like squints his eyes up and down. If you beat the boar, I'll give you 5 minutes.
Anna nods.
So, let's say the stage is set. Okay. Get things set. Okay. So there's some milling about in the room for a little while before our poor friend is ready to get back in the ring, and it does look like your buddy Zedekus was able to secure you a spot in said ring. And if you would like to enter the ring, you'll be welcomed by maybe my best work yet. His name is Boris. Thank you.
Of course it is.
Thank you. This massive humanoid who has these massively large shoulders, and his head is that of a boar, kind of steps over to you. You're the one. You're the one that wants to do this thing.
Well, I have done it with the boar before.
I have done it with a few ales before, and I can't wait. I can't wait, miss. I promise I will not take it easy on you. I am flying high after beating that bastard over there. And he kind of points, and then he looks around. Where did he go? Did he leave? And he gets a few chuckles out of the crowd. So, if you're really
I can understand trying to make a buck. I'll just hit you once you fall over. You get your fall money or whatever it is. The crowd will eat it up. They're a really sick bunch.
Snipers.
Just see how it goes.
He chuckles and starts moving back towards the corner. And you can see that Zedekis is making his way through the crowd, getting a lot of his purse filled with coin.
Anna glances. Does the little labyrinth elf she talked to make a bet?
You do see the labyrinth elf kind of walk over to the edge and just like give a very subtle few like a handful of something to Zedekis as he kind of makes his way all the way around. He does seem to take a bet. If you would like to make an insight check on old Zed, you can. His head is, you see his head move. It seems like he is actually not facing. Because you do not meet the DC and are unable to read his face. But yeah, so Zedekis takes the coin and continues moving around. So, I'm going to put on this music. It's quite fun. It's going to be months before we ever hear it again. If it'll play. Please. Too many things playing. It's mostly because I'm missing. Okay. Anna. The metagame rules of the ring. In the Rat's Cage Club. It's actually not as in-depth as you might think. It's actually pretty simple. This is not just a one-on-one fucking fight. But if you do want to use some of your abilities or things, they may grant you certain advantages in the ring against your opponent. The match is 5 rounds. And you will be able to choose a roll-off basically between your athletics or your acrobatics. You will roll against Boris, who is your opponent. If you have ways to boost your dexterity in certain ways with skills or cool descriptions of things you want to do, want to try to do, you can always attempt to do things to gain advantages in the fight. But this is, it all will come down to rolls. And gaining certain rolls, basically beating your opponent by certain amounts, grant you certain things. You can technically knock your opponent out, as your opponent can knock you out. As the rounds go on, it becomes easier to knock an opponent out. And we'll just see how this goes. And as the bell is rung by the massive ogre in the back, Boris kind of like slowly starts walking up into the middle of the ring, and you can see he doesn't seem to be taking this all too seriously. Anna, what do you do as you kind of like are starting the fight against this boar man?
Well, Anna does what she always does when she starts a fight. And that is just hear the rhythm, hear the beat of the fight. So
Love it. I love it.
On dexterity acrobatics check.
Amazing. So you kind of like step up there and kind of lean back into your stance and are just like focusing, listening. And he's like looking at you a little bit like confused. And then he like kind of nods his head and he's like, for those looking on, like, oh, okay, I'm just supposed to hit it. Just takes a fall, you know, and he kind of cocks his fist back and throws a fist towards you. And you can roll your acrobatics check with advantage against his athletics check, which is just his strength.
I think I'm gonna.
Might want to do something.
Uh-oh.
Don't forget about Fortune's Favor.
That's what I'm wondering. Actually,
it has a time limit, so it's not like you get it for 8 hours.
No, I know, but I'm wondering. See, Michael, you said it was 5 rounds.
5 rounds.
So, in the mechanics wise, they're going to be like a roll per round or a couple rolls per round.
Yeah, it depends all what you want to do. But yeah, there's at least one.
Yeah.
For the storytelling wise, I think it is funny if Anna just gets fucking drilled, like the crowd expects, and then has to react after that. I like that. I like how that's, no matter how the fight goes, I think that is the perfect way for the start. She fucking smacked like and crunched on the ground.
Anna, you get fucking smashed across the face. You're expecting to be able to kind of like dodge out of the way, and you start to move, but the fist comes in with such unexpected speed from this massive humanoid boar man. And as it clocks you, your bell is literally rung, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Lost my pencil.
Can I get the bonus like I would if this was a spell, or just a flat Constitution?
Do you get a bonus for if it's a spell?
Yeah, and the rules blade long. You gain a bonus to any Constitution saving throw you make to maintain your concentration on a spell.
I don't think so. I think it's just a straight one.
Yeah, no, that's fine by me.
It's not a spell.
I'm hoping since it's early in the early.
It's hard to knock somebody out. It's harder to knock somebody out in Miranda.
Oh, all right. Well, then I have to use it right there. Do I have a bottle cap left, or am
harder, but not impossible?
Just use Fortune's Favor.
Yeah, I do have a bottle cap left, but I think I have to use Fortune's Favor. I just there we go. Thank God.
Amazing. Okay.
Like on a deck, and she just has like, and she thinks she's going out, and she just hears like Steven's voice in her mind, like, "You fucking dumbass," and like then she comes to.
There's these like little glimmers of dodecahedrons in front of your face, and you're like, oh. Able to kind of like shake it off and stumble to your feet, and Boris is just like, and he's just like yelling, kind of like walking around the room and really trying to amp up the crowd. And as he turns, he kind of sees you getting to your feet, and he's just like looking at you like, oh, don't do that. Oh, don't do that now.
So Anna's gonna like wipe her mouth and like feel the blood, and it's just like, I never fight before bleeding a little first. And then she is gonna come flying in with an attack of her own. So do that again.
Acrobatics. See if you can just really try and put the hurt on you. This guy.
Hey!
Okay, so he kind of like, he sees you start flying in, and he's like really thinking that he's going to be able to essentially just clothesline you and knock you out. And he does throw a good punch, but hearing the song, you're able to kind of dodge around it. And how do you want to strike this fella?
Maybe like some sort of like fly. If I'm running in, maybe like a nice like Superman punch kind of thing.
Or sweep the leg.
Yeah. No, we'll go with like a flying Superman punch kind of thing. She jumps and he tries to clothesline her, and she kind of moves out of the way, and all the momentum is coming from her legs. You know, her arms aren't that strong. So she basically throws herself at him, and just, you know, through being able to time well and aim well, hits a tough spot on the board.
Yeah, you can actually see as that hit kind of like comes across his face, like he shakes it off a little bit, and he isn't expecting that hard of a hit, which actually does impact his next round a bit. And he kind of like walks it, spins it around, and then kind of comes right back at you to try to engage you kind of as quick as he can, not expecting to get hit there. And I'll have you roll it again. Here comes his strength check. Oh boy. He comes in again, this time coming in a bit more wildly as he's like screaming. You can see he's actually trying to get you with his tusk. And as you're able to kind of dodge out of the way, he's coming in pretty low. You're able to kind of slam down on top of him, knocking him actually to the ground, and he now has to make his first save. And Donna, as you're standing there, you kind of start pacing back and like getting ready for him to get up. And then you're still kind of waiting. And then you're still kind of waiting. And then you kind of see this little pool of blood start coming out. As Zedekus kind of like dives under and like flips him over, and Boris is unconscious.
Didn't make a DC 15 Constitution save.
He did not. He would have, but because the previous hit.
Oh, the difference between the two of them.
You beat him by 5 or more.
5 or more.
It made his DC 1 higher, and he failed.
So I had a pretty tough DC, so I nearly got knocked out in the first round.
You almost got knocked out the first round.
That really speaks to that fortune's favor reroll right there.
Thanks. That might not be the first time Steven saves my life tonight.
one on the die to 19 on the die.
Pretty amazing. So yeah, it's almost like kind of the perfect storytelling, because he was absolutely underestimating you. And then after one basically solid hit, he was like, okay, I'm putting her in the ground. And then you just dodge and knocked out.
All right.
And he is unconscious on the ground. And let's actually take a 906 break. I'm going to move downstairs, and I really gotta pee. BRB.
What? Yeah. Yes.
Michael, it's actually perfect how that went down because my
I don't think he can hear you yet, Connor. Now he should be able to. He was connecting the audio.
Wait.
Hey, that actually is perfect how it went down because my my problem with my mutagen that I'm on right now is I have disadvantage on initiative rolls. So, like, I'm a little slow to the gun.
Don't need initiative in a one-on-one battle with a boar. Saru. As you walk back inside, you see the tavern is pretty bumping, pretty happy. People seem to be in a pretty good mood, and it's likely due to just what a great time they've had watching Saru and the Dwarf Boys play this evening. As you're walking back inside, you realize that you're still holding that pouch that was kind of tossed to you as you follow this dude out. The dwarves are back on kind of the stage and just kind of playing some like kind of low, quote unquote, dinner music, just kind of filler music. As you kind of re-enter the tavern. What is your plan?
Before plan is just to go back up on stage, most likely. I think he'd look in the bag, probably as he was walking back up.
As you walk back up on stage, kind of taking a peek in that bag, there are you know, just by the feel and look of it, there's 25 gold pieces inside. But as you kind of look at them, like take a closer look, they are all of Krazik origin. The coins are very familiar to you, as they are all from Krazik.
Did he have any? Were there any like symbols or icons or tattoos or anything that he would have been wearing? Or
roll a perception check with disadvantage. There was one that caught your attention. As he kind of flipped you the coin or the coin pouch, you saw kind of on his wrist there was like a silhouette of a flying bird.
okay. Yeah, nope. Would go back up on stage and would either jump right in or wait until they were done with their dinner song and start back up again.
Love it. Roll a performance check. I want to see how rich you make these days. Beautiful. Saru jumps back in with the boys. Saru and the boys. Is there anything that Arthur or Stephen would like to do on the other side of town?
Plans on my side.
my headphones were in backwards, and it was really freaking me out.
Nice. And mine thing took a whole hour, so I don't know if we progressed an hour in their time.
Yeah, probably about. They had to walk back and all that. You know.
Note that, Anna, that your dimension door is about to disappear.
Ooh, yeah, probably like 10 to 15 minutes left on the dimension door.
Yeah. No, there's nothing. Stephen very much wants to get to tomorrow's big announcement because it's gonna clear up some questions he has.
All right. Was there anything from Arthur? Nick, I didn't hear you because I might have.
Oh, no, sorry. Nope, all good on this end.
Lovely. Anything from Will's character?
He's a little upset that Anna just knocked him out. Other than that,
I found it really weird that I was playing him, but you know. All right. Boris, unconscious on the ground. Xerxes pulls out his gun again, puts him out of his misery. And Glint, what are you up to?
Glint's
Invisiglint.
just sneaking around. You can't look at shinies while he's invisible.
Ooh.
So he's just seeing what he can see. See if he sees any stuff like hidden under people's robes as he's like walking by the tables. If he can slip by to get into the table area.
Yeah, roll a stealth check.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're able to get by. There's kind of a moment, maybe even during the fight, when that elf kind of steps forward to pay Zedekis, that you're able to kind of just walk right by and into the high roller area, as it were.
Just gonna kind of like see if you can see inside like their cloaks as they're sitting down, see if they have any trinkets of interest.
Yeah, so they all seem kind of rather like back and forth, like they're interested in the fight and they're kind of just like idly chatting with one another. But yeah, the new elven woman kind of fighting the Boris is definitely of interest to most of them. Roll investigation. So as you're kind of moving through, there are plenty of pouches and things on like all of them. They all have little pouches, little pockets. Some have like bags that you can see. As you're walking by, actually the first one, as you're kind of scanning this gentleman here, you actually are able to see that he has a rather well hidden, but not well enough for an invisible, under the table peeper such as yourself. He has a dagger on him, which you had heard as you came in. No weapons allowed, but he does have a dagger on this person. Otherwise, they all have like pouches and little, like some of them have like necklaces, things like that, jewels on their, rings and such, but nothing like out of the ordinary other than the dagger seems kind of out of place, as apparently those are not allowed to be in here.
Gotcha. He's just gonna pass them by.
Stab that guy in the throat. Take his dagger.
Only had hands to stab people with.
Punch him with the nubs.
But he'll just kind of pass by.
Love it. Hana, eventually they kind of drag Boris to the corner and get him slowly to wake up. And Zedekis starts moving through the crowd. He only goes to one person to pay out. That person being this elven person here, and then Zedekis kind of seems to make his way kind of trying to make himself scarce as the crowd is stunned and also all much poorer after the fight.
How's Boris doing down there?
He is coming to in the corner there. Zedekis
Anna will walk up to him and say, "Oh, I finally done it with a boar now." And she'll
Oh yeah, you done it with the boar, all right. Oh god. The sucker punch, huh? That was it's really got me.
You fight well, you're fast for a man of your size.
Yeah, you're much faster. It's good to meet you. Where the hell did you come from?
He's starting to get to his feet and kind of stands up.
I'm here to inquire about some work. Do you know which one of those VIPs up there is really in charge?
In charge of this place?
Not in charge of this place, but who matters up there?
He kind of scans up there and he's like,
I've actually only seen the one on the end.
And he kind of points to this human man.
And that lad in the back.
And this human man.
The others aren't too familiar. The entourage. What kind of work are you looking for?
Does the man in the back have some money?
I reckon they all have money if they have tables.
Fair. I was on a job that went bad, and I'm here to either report the news or find out if I'm an inconvenient loose end. But once you've got a problem, it's better to face it head on.
It's admirable. Well, I guess you can try your luck up there. Like I said, a bit of riffraff, but those two might do you well. I don't know what kind of work they're in, but if you're looking for honest work, I might know some people that could use someone like you.
You do honest work. I wouldn't think any of us did honest work.
Depends what you consider honest. But I know some people. We do a bit of hunting. It's honest enough.
What are we hunting for? Or where would I find out what we're hunting for?
That depends. I can tell you where once I pull up the right Google document. Which episode did I list my thing? Or is it on this page?
Well, god damn it. He'll give you the name of the place once he finds the name of the place.
Okay. We can head like a. If you got more information to give.
Yeah, so he has a spot. Just don't know if I have it. I don't know where I have it. But yeah, he gives you the name of a tavern that I believe is. Oh, there it is. Scabbard's Hall. It is in section 4, King's Quarter. And Anna, when he says Scabbard's Hall, that actually rings a bell to you. Because Fillmore had told you about Scabbard's Hall. Scabbard's Hall is a guild hall run by a small sect of blood hunters. Though they are not the blood hunters that, not that Fillmore ran with anyone, but they would not be any of the blood hunters that Fillmore ran with. And as you're looking at this gentleman, it all kind of starts to click. He is likely a lycanthrope, which there is a sect of blood hunters that are
I wanted to play,
lycans. Yeah.
I wanted to play a lycan blood hunter, except I was too close to carry. I was like, yeah.
So it's as you kind of look at this dude and you're like, oh shit.
Does he like when he says like we hunt? Does he like look at my arms?
He doesn't seem to take much in. He doesn't seem to really notice actually. I had rolled him earlier, and he doesn't seem to pick up on you, at least in this instance.
Okay. All right. Anna will say, "Thank you for the invite." Let's see, yeah, I might be in Briarwood for a little while.
Well, come on by. Maybe I can get you a little tryout, and I'll tell him what you can do.
And he kind of like rubs his head.
Yep. Anna will nod and try to exit the ring and head towards her, the guy up there.
Yeah, as you walk up, the elf just kind of like takes a step back and starts talking to the Minotaur bartender, and just kind of like lets you pass by as he does.
So if Anna stands like right kind of here, between the two tables, is she like, do people kind of now pay attention to her after the fight and then?
Yeah, so as you kind of walk up there, they seem to be like just kind of like idly chit-chatting. A couple of them are actually playing cards kind of at this table here, just some type of idle gambling between matches. And at some point, someone kind of like turns and sees you standing there, and this guy here, that's his cool token, will kind of stand up, and slowly approach. That was a good fight you put up down there.
Why, thank you. I appreciate it. I was, to be honest, I only took it because I needed to needed to get back here. And I had a feeling that you don't get back here unless you make a statement.
Quite a statement it was. Lost all of us a good deal of money, I'm sure. At least most of us.
I'm sure. It seems Zadicus has gone scarce for the night.
Yes, I don't think we'll be seeing him again.
Well, if I'm ever down here again, you certainly know who to. Oh. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My roll 20 just reset. That was very strange.
Roll 20.
Something is wrong. Whatever. So, I have a question, and it's either for this table or for the next table. I'm a newcomer here because I was on a job that went wrong. And I'm here to report to somebody about what happened. Does the name Foxhole mean anything to you?
Foxhole. It might.
Here's the thing. I'm a little short on time. Fighting the boar only bought me 5 minutes. And I hope I prove my intentions. Does the name Foxhole mean something to you? Or not?
Roll a persuasion check.
Ugh.
He gets a bit closer to you, and then puts his hands on the rail in front of you, as he's kind of looking out into the crowd, and just kind of leans in your direction. Why are you asking about Foxhole?
Well, because I'm either here to report to somebody associated with her that something went terribly wrong on the delivery that Foxhole had. And I'm either here to report that or present myself here as a loose end. Because things went to shit.
Roll a deception check.
Charisma-based checks, baby.
He pauses for a minute and kind of looks over the crowd. What'd she say? Is she pissed?
She's fine, or as fine as you can be. We picked up our shipment, but we ran into a problem somewhere around the God's Wall. A big problem.
he kind of like looks over his shoulder a little bit, like looking around just to see if anyone's like listening. And he actually like leans down and like fucking puts his hand on the guy's head in front of him, like shoos the fucking dude away that's just like sitting there. Who will leave and respond in that manner.
All right, so she doesn't know.
I don't believe she knows.
All right. Well, we don't have much of a problem at all then. I mean, the problem's on us, but the problem's not quite as big. Tell you what, why don't we finish this conversation tomorrow? Meet upstairs around dinner time, and we can figure out how to fix all this.
We can't finish it now.
Well, you see, I've got people to talk to, and it seems it's not. Let me just tell you, it's not as big of a problem as you might think it is. It may have been, but it sounds like it's things might be okay.
Anna nods. And she goes, "Can I get your name, mister?"
Garen. Call me Garen.
Garen. And she goes, "Natalia." And then we'll leave.
Love it. He watches as you kind of walk down the stairs, or walk away. My roll 20 is also fucking exploding right now for whatever dumb reason. It's so annoying. Oh, wow. Apparently that music wants to play. All right, I think I'm back. Yeah, so he kind of, you can kind of just feel his eyes on you as you're leaving. Is your aim to exit the club with Xerxes?
It is.
Lovely. Glint, is there anything you'd like to do on your way out?
Did you see my text above?
I did.
Okay. That's it.
Lovely. And you're gonna follow Anna?
Yeah, he'll follow Anna and Xerxes out.
I love it. As Anna and Xerxes, as you guys got walk back to the Kenku and the lizard folk who are at the desk, they will kind of greet you, and if there's nothing more you want from them, they will happily give you back your shit. And you see them kind of like pull down on a rope hanging from the ceiling, and then they wait, and then the door in front of you just kind of unlatches. You can see there's like kind of a series of gears on the back of it, and you're able to then push it open and enter the cellar from there. And they kind of yell at you to shut the door after yourselves. But then you find yourself down in that same cellar from which you entered. Xerxes, yourself, and unbeknownst to you, an invisible glint.
And all our
following behind.
As Zana like checks over all the weapons, it's all good.
It is all there. Yeah, everything that you gave is there and in exactly the condition that you left it there.
Okay. I think we will go and we'll go up top of the bar, and then whenever Saru's done, we'll roll out.
Yeah, so as you start walking up the stairs, the door actually opens for you, and you see that that human woman kind of there waiting for you, seeming like she had been notified that you'd be coming, and kind of like nods and hope you had a good time down there, and shuts and locks the cellar door, and kind of just goes back to her table, chills. Saru likely still on stage, even as this place slowly gets devolved into drunkenness, and some people start stumbling out. Is there anything else that anyone would like to do in the club that is the Rat's Cage?
I am good. And I'm gonna have to reset my computer, so I'll be back in a minute for the speech.
Speech. The split party survives. Wow.
Right.
We did it. Except Will, of course. Boris got the shit beat out of him.
Ever split. So yeah, as you guys kind of get back together up top, Glint kind of just making himself come from somewhere, I assume.
I assume he's going to wait until the spell runs out. So whenever that happens, he appears.
I love it. And then yeah, so them kind of waiting for you up top, maybe sitting down, wondering where Glint is while Saru's finishing his final song, and then Glint kind of just apparates next to them in the booth. And eventually, when Saru finishes, you guys kind of met back up. What is your intent? Do you want to go back to the main the trio over there at the Blind Rat? Everything's named Rat in this town, if you haven't already figured that out. What's the call? Saru and Glint and Anna and Xerxes, who are definitely here.
What'd you guys find down there? Anything cool?
I like how you're talking to characters. The only character who can answer doesn't want you to know you were down there.
I actually have to look up if Glint found anything cool. Roll a D100, Glint.
Glinda, Suru asks you this. You can feel in one of your new cool travelers pockets that you have that they bought for you, your traveling clothes. But there is a small jingling pouch. Just kind of hefting within.
Good show.
Great show.
Yes, it was a great show, definitely.
Were you there? I didn't see you in the crowd. I thought you went with them.
Oh, I'm small. And the crowd was loud and raucous. It's easy to miss Glint.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we're a lot of people.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Anna, Xerxes, what'd you guys find?
Well, potential leads, different leads more than anything else. One chance to connect with some blood hunters, find out what they know. Blood hunters are often aware of things going on. Might be an angle. Two, met with someone named Garen, who was connected to the job that brought Glint to us. He seemed mostly concerned that Foxhole found out or not. He said we should eat again at dinner. So if you're not opposed to coming back here, I'd like to come back here tomorrow night, assuming we don't have something more pressing going on. And see what that digs up. Something feels like this, like Glint, like Foxhole, whatever happens matters. So I'd like to just see.
I matter?
I think so.
Sure you do.
We all matter.
It's wonderful news. Just wonderful. Yes.
Yeah, that is. Actually, coming back here tomorrow night would be great. I mean, what's another show? And, while you guys were gone, some guy came up to me and gave me, this pouch of coins from Krazik, which is kind of weird. But I tried to track him down, and he disappeared down in the sewers, I think. Didn't really catch a name or anything, but he had, a symbol of a bird on his wrist. But anyway, he kind of seemed like he was going to run into us again.
Interesting.
And he kind of had this really weird way of talking. Kind of like he was, I don't know, certain syllables he was saying seemed like they were trying to say something more, but I don't know. I don't really, like some secret code or something, I don't know. Not my forte.
Anna wants to do multiple history checks. And the first one, so I don't cheat. The first one was about the bird.
Yeah,
a bird tattoo.
Tattoo of a bird actually
bells.
does not on a 27 ring any bells. That leads you to believe it's likely not representative of any known orders or anything like that. It might be a personal thing.
And then I'll do a separate history check, but Connor knows that Anna's uncle almost certainly knows and speaks thieves can't to people in the Grey Forge Palace. So Anna's doing a check to see if she's ever up on that phone and like, oh yeah, my very shady uncle, the king, talks like that all the time, and he's like kind of a criminal boss.
Yeah, there's definitely when Sir's kind of describing the way that like the way of speaking that he encountered, Thieves' Cant definitely rings a bell. Some form of hidden like tonal language. That definitely seems legit.
Anna will say, this is my video, so before I lost her body. Anna will say, careful, Saru. I can only think of one person who speaks like you described. He's my uncle, and he is deeply tied into the criminal underworld. I'm not saying it's the same language, but that's how they use to communicate to each other. I've heard him do it before. It sounds almost sing-song. Doesn't make any sense to me, but anyways, that's what that reminded me of. Just thought you should know.
Yeah, it was kind of, I don't know, did have kind of a rhythm or tone to it, but it's worth noting. I mean, he did like disappear down the sewers, so I don't know. But he definitely had coins from Kazik and seemed he knew something about it, so that's interesting enough.
Another interesting lead. Having been down in those sewers, I would not think that anybody was a better place to stay would willingly go down there. There's some oozes and shit. It's gross. Do not recommend.
Well, anyway, hey, by the way, did you get hit? Is that are you bruised? Are you bruising? Are you bleeding?
But you should literally see the other guy. Right, Glint? And Anna will like look at Glint pretty accusingly, having heard him on the stairs.
What? There was another what guy?
Uh-huh. Anyways, I'm sure Xerxes will mostly relay the point that I got knocked on my ass as soon as the fight started, but I did. But you know me.
He'll also relay that you're just total racist.
Yeah. My strengths and my faults were on full display tonight.
Just like all those other Grey Forge elves. Still think that racist.
Them royals.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm decolonizing my thoughts. It takes a little while.
I assume this is a walk-in talk because you're headed back.
Yeah, we're headed back. Anna probably has to meditate just a little longer than the 4 hours after getting clock like that.
I will put you all down on the bottom right just because it's easier for me to grab you to go other places.
I think as we're walking and talking, Sru would be fidgeting with the bag and the coins. And he'd probably ask Glint if any of them were shiny.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Just for fun.
Glint will look.
None of the coins are shiny, Glint.
Okay.
But they all do have strange markings on them. As far as you're concerned, I presume.
Yeah, well.
Do they have the faces of cats on them?
You tell me, Preston, what do
Oh, come on now.
Kerzekian coins have on them?
No. They probably have just like
Operants?
the worst. I think they have just like random scratch marks on them. like pseudo tally marks.
Post scratchings.
Sure, yeah. You're the worst.
I love it. All right. As the evening winds down, you guys make it back to the Blind Rat, which is also at a nice state of drunkenness when you walk in, making your way to the room in which Stephen, Arthur, and Sarah are playing a rousing game of war. I assume. I don't know what else they'd be doing, but
Which cards are wild?
it's a loaded deck. Who loaded it? Don't know. Any debriefing, anything you guys want to do tonight before heading into the morrow?
I mean, I would just, I would basically tell them, what happened, the potential leads to chase down with, checking with the blood hunters just to see if they know anything that's going on, and then trying to get to the bottom of whatever's going here. But that's all stuff tomorrow night, so we'll just sort of just let them know what's going on, what you found.
I mean, we can just. Yeah, I guess I don't see the connection between the blood hunters or the other leads and the unseen and the embers, so.
I mean, the blood hunters is just someone from the blood hunters. You don't know. I'm just going to see if anybody's important or know any more rumors that we can't get access to. And I can't help but feel connected to the fact that they went through the hole in the wall there, and then ran into the unseen cadaver collectors. It just feels, if we have some very pressing thing to do tomorrow night, I'm not gonna skip out, but just trying to dig up information on what's going on.
Yeah, I checked out the captain's house. He, none of the people I expected to be there were there. Looks like they hadn't been there for at least a couple days, maybe longer. So I don't know if that means the coup has already happened and they're in the keep or what's going on, but something's definitely up.
All right. That's good to know. And very odd. We'll know more tomorrow afternoon.
The night passes peacefully. On this, the 22nd, the rotting. Is there anything that y'all want to do? Obviously, Anna heals her bruises from getting clocked by a boar. And you'll gain your spells and all that shit back. Anything anyone do in the morning before heading?
Glint would approach Stephen, probably near the end of the watch, looking suddenly like he just remembered something.
Stephen! I found something earlier. You like shinies too, I know.
He's gonna try and fiddle in his bag to try and like pull something out. He can't with his nubs, it's like kind of too slippery, so he just dumps the bag on the floor. And you might see some things that kind of look a little familiar, like spell components type stuff. And you see a couple of vials, and he quickly like brushes one over to you, and then he looks at the other and he's like,
I don't. Oh well.
and he just shoves it over.
He's like, these. I got these.
And while he was also kind of like on the ground shuffling around with his stuff, a pouch of jingling metal falls out of his coat.
You can tell what these do, right?
And he's like pushing the 2 vials towards you.
Okay. Yeah, I can see what these do. What's this? And I'll point to the jingling pouch of metal.
I don't know. Is it mine? Is it mine?
Where'd you get it? Do you know?
No.
I will take the jingling pouch of metal and I will open it.
There is a small pile of coins inside.
Are they normal coins? Or are they?
There seems to be some gold coins and some platinum coins.
Unbelievable. Why don't you hang on to this, Clint? Be good to...
Yes. I said I would carry things.
Yes, you can carry this.
I can carry that.
Yeah, you keep on carrying it. I will identify the 2 vials. Really hoping he stole Xerxes and Anna's blood. That's what I'm hoping for.
Oh boy.
Me too.
I sent you these, right, Croft?
Yeah. Glint wouldn't know what they were, but yeah, you did send them to me. I got them right here.
Perfect. Because I don't want to scroll.
Okay, where'd you find these, Clint?
There was a...
And he points to one of the vials. He just kind of points to a random one. Not really sure, it seems like he knows.
I got them from that place there was lines of them. They were everywhere. They were just seemed like they were for everybody.
From that place? From
Yes.
the tavern last night?
No. There was a shop where you exchange shiny for non-shiny.
Oh, so you stole these. You took these.
Was that bad?
Yes, that was not great. So like how you said we exchanged,
Why is that bad?
Because you didn't exchange the shiny to get these.
Oh, I didn't give them a shiny.
Correct. There you go.
Why do they need shiny?
Because they probably took time and money to make these. And like if I took your shinies right now and just kept them, you'd be upset, right? Or disappointed because you like shinies.
Yeah, I like shinies.
Yeah. So it's not fun when someone just takes your shinies and doesn't give you anything in return.
If they were smart, they would just take shiny back like I do.
That's what, and I'm saying when you find out that your shiny's been taken, you're upset, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But my shinies haven't been taken.
And theirs were. And they might be on the lookout for you now. And like they might want to kill you now.
They can try.
They might. Who knows?
But Glint was stealthy.
They
didn't see. They don't know. They should know better. They should keep better watch if they don't want people to take their shiny glass vials.
Yeah, it's their fault for wearing that dress.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
they were asking for it.
I don't know what this dress part is.
They were asking for it. No, I got it. I'm getting what you're saying, Clint. I got you.
Yes, they need to be smarter, like Glint.
Yep.
See, you get it.
No,
You're
I
smart.
I totally got it, Clint. I totally got it.
Yes. But you keep now. You keep potions now.
Oh, why do you want me to keep them?
I don't.
He tries to pick one up.
Unbelievable. All right, Glenn. We'll put them in the bag, and that way you don't have to worry about them.
I'll tell him. I'll tell the person to keep better eye next time.
Just keep it to yourself.
Oh. Okay, I don't even know where that place was, to be honest.
I wasn't. I didn't think you did. I'm not worried about. Not worried about it.
Good. Glint is not worried either. Then.
Well, I'm glad we had this little talk.
Yes.
He goes and squats in a corner again.
I love that when he bends over, a fucking coin purse falls out of him. It's good. It's good. What else you got in there? Who knows? Who's to say?
He collects
Quick
his
hands. That's what they say. Quick hands. Old Glint, quick hands.
Glint.
Glint the klepto hands.
It's got those speedy nubs. Anything else that anyone wants to do today? Just sleep all day, probably. Stay in the inn.
I like it. Good bed day.
And then take a nap.
Yeah.
Great. That's what I was hoping. So I was hoping you'd say. Right,
I've prepared all the perfect spells for a bed day.
We're going to advance the date. And your watch passes peacefully.
There should be a spell called like, "Would you like some grapes?" And you just do unseen servant and just have this unseen servant dropping grapes into your mouth as you, and fanning you as you just lay in bed.
Pretty sure that's called like Mordenkainen's
I think
castle.
Minor illusion.
There's an unseen servant. That could be.
Oh, I know that. I just
gooseberries.
Yeah, to buy the grapes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Okay. Well.
All right. Let's go listen to a speech.
Wow. Speech, you'll say. Okay. So around high sun, a little before you start making your way towards the bridge. There is a fairly decent-sized crowd gathering there. What is your party looking to do? Like, you guys looking in the front row? You guys disguise in self? You guys wading out into the water to catch a fly ball? What are you guys trying to do? That answers that for Steven. Anyone else doing anything? As you're heading into a large crowd, excuse me, here in Court South, heading towards the stage.
I've always been back of the classroom guy.
Love it. What are you disguising yourself as, Steve?
The Toyota Corolla of Briarwood citizens.
Nice. I love it. Human, dirty.
Yep.
You know,
not going to stand out in the crowd.
Nope. Dependable, reliable.
Did you see that guy? He looks really dependable.
Yeah.
But also nondescript.
Yeah.
Love it.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah. All right. So the crowd kind of gathers, and more people kind of start gathering in around behind. You guys are near the back quarter of the bunch when the time comes that the whole when most of the people that you seem like are going to come here.
We'll say like close enough that we can see the people on the stage, though.
Yeah. So yeah, you're probably within a few 100 feet of the stage. You can see the stage pretty well, and it's a pretty wide kind of area that they've got going here. The stage is fully constructed on the large bridge that heads into the Platinum District, and you can see there are some thick canvas tents kind of set up flanking the bridge. The canvas tents have purple banners that are kind of flanking the stage, and there's thousands on thousands of people probably gathered here by the time that high sun is above, just kind of lining the streets. And there's some chatter about like, what's this all about? You can hear some kind of people chattering as this kind of gathering is taking place. Seeing the purple banners is a bit strange. The colors of Briarwood are blue. The Sons of Briarwood wear kind of a royal blue. So the purple banners seem a little out of place. They are unmarked, just kind of purple banners, which is odd. After you guys kind of wait a while, eventually you hear the sound of horns kind of blast out from somewhere behind the stage, and the crowd kind of slowly begins to come to a hush that comes over the crowd. And you start to see kind of movement up in the front from around the tents as you start to see figures start moving onto the stage, kind of climbing up wooden stairs from within the tents. It starts with four guardsmen types donning these kind of like purple undershirts under this kind of like armor that is kind of like this almost like silvery gold color. The armor looks like super fancy, almost something you describe maybe as ceremonial rather than like functional gear, but it's hard to exactly tell what's going on with this armor, but it does look nice even from a distance. And then following behind them are multiple people who fit the part of well-dressed nobles, followed by a smattering of more plainly dressed folk in maybe a little more common-looking attire, but still kind of like higher up. It's nice clothing, not peasant wear or anything like that. And then finally comes wrapping up in four more guardsmen dressed in different attire than the first. You see these very distinct red capes, which Arthur immediately notes are Knights of Fort Phoenix, known as the Red Sentinels. And this kind of group kind of moves up to the raised area on the back of the stage, kind of standing before chairs there. And then a new kind of group starts coming out and filling the front of the stage. I will give you a rundown of what some of these people look like on the stage. The rear, we have a couple of these purple guardsmen, then followed by 2 red sentinels. There is a dwarven male in kind of noble-looking armor. Stephen, you recognize this as Carbrick Ironmite. There is 2 elves following him in noble robes. These are members of the Ocean Dream family.
Which ones?
Certain, which is the lead of the house, and his daughter, both there. Followed by 2 humans. A human male, and 2 human males. One older in his 60s, and one younger, probably in his 20s or so, mid-20s. Both of pale skin, blonde hair. Then there is another human, large gentleman, in kind of blacksmithing clothes. This is Stephen. You know this as Uriah Steele. There is then a half-orc, and another human in noble clothes. 2 more red sentinels, and then 2 more of these purple guardsmen. If, say, Isabel were here, she may have recognized 2 of the humans that were on the stage, but she's busy. Here.
She's busy,
and no one recognizes them.
Being a god. So it's a who's who of the Platinum District.
Yes, and then as the second section fills, this section kind of lower down on the stage, closer to the front, and probably more of the important section, as it were. Starts with 3 more of these purple guardsmen, followed by a son of Briarwood. Then a dwarf female in battle-worn armor and a red cape that Arthur and you all, actually most of you at least, had seen her. This is Captain Grimjaw of the Red Sentinels, leader of the Red Sentinels, followed by a very small, frail dwarf named Cornelius, followed by Marcus Silvius's wife and 2 daughters, followed by a human man in black robes. He looks like priestly robes, followed by another Briarwood guard and 3 of these purple guardsmen. All kind of fill the stage, and they're all kind of standing there waiting, and eventually all sit, other than the guards who all remain standing. And finally, a man in black trimmed with a man in all black trimmed with gold noble attire. It's just kind of pretty fancy. And this royal blue Briarwood ceremonial cape that's kind of pinned across his chest and shoulders and goes back behind him. As he kind of walks onto the crowd, he gathers a pretty large amount of cheers from this crowd. This human man with shoulder-length brown hair and a very cleanly shaven face is none other than Lucian Therold from those 66-ish days ago. He kind of gives the crowd a wave as they're kind of cheering before placing this necklace around his neck and kind of giving this medallion a squeeze. And he clears his throat, and it's kind of immediately apparent what that necklace seems to do as his throat clear is amplified across the crowd, and everyone can kind of hear him a little bit more easily across
Is there a section next to the stage where it looks like there's a bunch of people huddled over like a soundboard, maybe?
Yeah, they're like adjusting,
like telling him to move over just a little bit.
the film cameras.
Yeah.
They're all rolling. Stand on the X, Lucian. And Lucian, who kind of clears his throat, begins with, Briarwood citizens, I thank you for attending amidst all the chaos that has been plaguing our fair city as of late. For those of you who do not know me, I am Lucian Therauld, former Lord's High Steward of the Sons of Briarwood. We know that the events of the last few weeks have been full of fear and confusion. We've called you here today not to put you at ease, but to tell you the truth of the matter at hand. You can tell the crowd, there's some like nods and and there's also some like level of like confusion going on.
It began just 7 days ago.
Hey, Michael.
Go.
Connor just rolled a dice for
The inside check is a joke.
Oh.
They're going to tell you the truth. And I'm like, oh, I'll insight it out the first speech.
Sorry.
Mike will tell me if he's telling the truth or not. No, sorry.
It began just 7 days ago, when what at first we believed were wholly unconnected events, the burning of buildings in the Temple District, the senseless killings throughout Court North and South, and of course the most recent event, the horrific hangings in the Platinum District of 2 primordial incursion heroes from this fine city. Alas, we've been working tirelessly to reach a conclusion, and finally we have found the connection we've been looking for. Each one of these events has at last been linked back to a common factor. The culprit from each of the events have been uncovered, and as I feared, each one of these perpetrators was acting as part of a larger group. These actors were outsiders, not from within the walls of our city, not from the nearby villages within Briarwood's reach, and most terrifyingly, not from within the wall that surrounds our kingdom. True outsiders from the burnt lands that lie beyond the God's wall.
And the crowd seems to quiet and then follow with a few calls and screams questioning what exactly this means and how can it be. You can tell the crowd is kind of immediately on edge and starts to ignite from random sections. A few people calling out, a man close by, like, what do you mean outsiders? How do we protect ourselves? You know, there's just a lot of like these calls that are kind of just coming from within the crowd. And Lucian kind of holds his arms up, trying to kind of just tame the crowd, and it seems to calm a bit.
I know this is not the news you wish to hear, but the truth that needed to reach you. I assure you, we will do everything in our power to protect you and protect this city from the monsters beyond the wall and any outsiders who wish to do us harm. As I said before, we have captured a number of these, which proved difficult, as they were masquerading in our very own Sons of Briarwood armor, slipping right under my very nose. I failed you. I failed this city.
As he says that through gritted teeth, kind of cocks his head.
But not again. Seize them.
As he says this, suddenly the knights on stage, donning the purple livery and decorative armor, spring into action, and they quickly chop out the legs from under the 2 Sons of Briarwood guardsmen that are on stage. And then overwhelmingly kind of take them with these sudden, unexpected force of strikes until they fall to their knees. once they're on their knees, the two sons kind of appear to slump and struggle against these four knights in purple as the other red sentinels kind of flank out around them. And as they're kind of grappling them there on their knees, they're kind of just fighting against us. And eventually their helms are kind of removed from over their heads, and you can see that these two guards kind of donning the Sons of Briarwood armor are of platinum hair, pale skin humanoids with these angular features and sharply pointed ears. Obviously both of these elves, but what you all see from this distance are these scars kind of embedded in the middle of their foreheads. And Lucian can be seen on the side of the stage, kind of like smiling, looking somewhat victorious as he looks upon these two elves that are both now kind of glaring back at him. And his voice kind of lowered, but still amplified.
You see, once we interrogated the corpses of your elven brothers and sisters,
And he nods towards that robed priest standing near the side of the stage, who kind of gives a solemn nod back.
we learned of your little plans and set this fine trap. Now, to be sure, I deserve little credit, as this strategic plan was put in place by none other than another hero of the primordial incursion, when you and your little clan would have wished you'd have targeted those days ago. I'll take them from my sight, put them in chains.
You see the knights then take the struggling Sons of Briarwood off stage and into a tent behind, as the crowd kind of starts throwing things and jeering at them, and eventually turns to applause for Lucian, who kind of walks back out into the front of the stage and waves the applause off.
I thank you. I thank you all. I must apologize for this display. I assure you the only ones at true risk here were myself and the brave men who apprehended these outsiders. We learned they had plans to target me, and so we used this address as bait. And while I admit these kinds of theatrics are not my preferred way of handling things, what I have told you thus far has been the truth. Those two men are just a few actors in a larger play for the city of Briarwood. And as I step down from my role as Lord's High Steward of the Sons, I want to introduce you to the man that will be taking my place. The man that laid this successful trap. A military strategist, hero of the primordial incursion, a man who will help to lead this city and destroy the evil who would attempt to tear it down. People of Briarwood, I give you your liberator, your luminary, your leader and beacon.
And as Lucian's voice builds, the words kind of echo down the streets throughout the city, and the crowd just kind of swells as he builds his words.
Lord Marcus Silvius.
And he steps to the side to this like massive applause. And as you all stand there, you can feel like the whipping up of the crowd that's happening, and you can feel just this kind of wave of excitement, whether it actually be for this person or just the whole show that you're watching before you. And you see a man walk on the stage, which is very familiar to Stephen, and he walks out wearing this kind of black and purple livery with kind of these gold trimmings, and he stands and just kind of takes it in for a moment before Lucian kind of walks over and like hands over the medallion that he then puts over his neck, and his voice becomes amplified over the crowd.
Many of you know me, or at least of me and my family. Those of you who know me or maybe have served with me would probably describe me as a hard man. and I don't deny it. I was a tough man before we faced the evils out there. Before the burning in the God's Wall. Those of you who saw things that I saw would agree. That sort of thing changes you. My wife, bless her, says to me sometimes that if I were any harder, I might turn to stone.
Then he flashes this devious smile and chuckle, and you can catch these pockets of the crowd and start to giggle and laugh.
I'll admit, this hardness may make me different than you. But one thing where we all are the same. We all want to feel safe. We all want to feel secure. I do apologize if the elaborate military action we had to put in place before was too much for some of you. But as Lucian stated, it was a necessary danger to protect us all from losing another of our great leaders to these outsiders.
You can feel as the crowd kind of begins to murmur in agreement, as well as a lot of apprehension.
Those of you who know me as a hard man also know that I have always and will always put the people of this city above all. I fought in the incursion to protect our people, and when Lucian came to me a few days ago on behalf of Lord Briar to ask for my help and advice for protecting this city, I had to give it. After we put our plan into motion, I was informed that our beloved Lucian would be stepping down in his role and would be nominating me as his replacement, which is, of course, an honor I cannot refuse. I have always answered the call and will do so again. This great city is a light in the darkness, and I will do everything in my power to protect it. We must first finish rooting out the disease of these elven outsiders that has stained our streets. You have my word. This city will always be one that is safe and that is free. We will prepare to face whatever challenge awaits us out there. Be on the lookout for further news on this matter at hand and how you can help us and protect yourselves. My men are currently setting up information boards in all major intersections, shops, taverns, and inns with important information to help you thrive as we turn this city around. Be vigilant. If you or someone you know sees or suspects more of these elven outsiders slinking about within our beloved streets, report them immediately to the nearest member of the new city guard, now under my control, known from henceforth as the Beacons, for their light will shine brightly upon what hides in the darkness of our city. We will overcome and bring the traitors to justice, and of course, find out where and why they have come to our city. I thank you, Briarwood.
And he starts walking off the stage to a loud plethora of cheers, and you start to see a large group of these beacons, as he referred to them, these new guards, all wearing these kind of purple ceremonial armor, start to walk out from the backside of the bridge through the tents, and they have these stacks of papers that they start kind of like handing out through the crowd. And there is a lot of cheering, also a lot of confusion, and the horns kind of start blaring off, and the crowd is semi-dispersing, also just semi kind of like a very big mess of people that are trying to figure out what they just witnessed, but there is a just a real good deal of cheers in this crowd.
Are the stacks of paper like getting distributed amongst the crowd?
Yeah, the stacks of paper seem to be kind of getting distributed amongst the crowd. There are kind of these men just slowly starting walking through, and like people are, there's some people that are like kind of grabbed some and like just started taking off. There's some people that are running like through the crowd towards the back, like towards the main areas of Court South. Like people are dispersing. Some people have these papers, some don't. Most of these guys are in the front, it seems like, but there might be some people running by with these papers.
Yeah, I would just like to get a hold of one and see what it says.
Lovely. As you kind of move out in front of someone who maybe has like multiple, you're able to like snag one from them. It's crumpled up. You uncrumple it. It looks like this. If I can make it work. Only if it worked.
Yeah.
That's what you see.
Poor Borsil.
At least Fence safe.
Yeah, jokes on him. Fence on a nice fishing holiday.
Who's Isaac?
He's dead. He's old Beej's dad.
I'm missing a lot of people from this thing.
Only 1,000 gold? Shoe skates.
That's just for information leading to this.
No, that's true.
Right, Arthur's gonna have to shave, and Steven's gonna have to grow a beard. And
Steven doesn't look like Steven.
Steven literally looks like a Camry right now.
Yeah.
Steven looks like a car.
Yeah. It's this nice big metallic object. Move. I'm trying to get out.
What does the party do? All climb into the Camry and drive off into the
I think that's the only move. I'll do a perception check since I'm the only one who doesn't look like anyone. Especially, Saru and Xerxes. Are people giving us some looks? Hang on, I switched pages.
Steven, after you look over on his shoulder and kind of see this paper and start kind of looking around, you can see there's a massive amount of people out here, and a very kind of large portion of them don't seem to have these pages yet, and they're all just like, a lot of people are talking in groups. There seems to be more confusion than anything. There are people looking around. Sometimes you see people looking at you, but it feels more. It probably feels very paranoid. Like, oh, why? But it doesn't seem like there's anyone like bird dogging you specifically at this moment. But for who knows how long that will stay the case, as you're standing in a group with a very tall cat person and a tiefling and a glint. And a couple of elves. Who knows how the Elven Trust is going these days?
Damn pointy ears.
What's the word?
Get back to the hotel and regroup.
Lovely.
What's
As you head back toward the Blind Rat, we will end our session and we will figure out what the heck you guys are going to do now.